On this episode of Slainte, we're on a journey to explore Prince Edward Island's own Bogside Brewing in beautiful Montague. We'll find out why so many weary travelers have been delightfully mired in Bogside's warm hospitality and discover all this craft brew pub has to offer. On the eastern side of Prince Edward Island lies the riverside community of Montague, home to Bogside Brewing. Known far and wide for its dynamic selection of delicious eats and its delightfully refreshing handcrafted brews. To find out what had inspired him to dive into the craft beer scene, I sat down with the owner and founder, David.
I actually woke up a lot of mornings and said, I'm going to start a brewery. So it was just a passion for me. I was into craft beer. And I started looking for places that would be suitable, and kind of here we are. The rest is history. So I live in this town. I love this town. People here are great, but we needed something like this. And so we bought this old building and renovated it and turned it into a brewery.
Incredible. When you say that we needed something like this, what do you mean by that?
It was kind of, there was a gap in the market here. There wasn't really a spot where the community could come. You'd have some nice, fresh pints, some food, place to gather. So it's kind of a bit more of a fast food scene, or, not really kind of what we want it in terms of the guest experience.
So you really set out to make this like community hub?
100%. Yeah, it's all about community here. So it's welcoming. We do tons of families coming in, people traveling, locals. It's a really good mix of folks.
Dave, let's start way at the beginning. What really sparks your passion for craft beer in the first place?
I just found craft beer, I think, or found, as folks did when it came on. So probably in 1995, I drank my first craft beer, and I was like, this is amazing. This is so much better than the big beer stuff that's coming out of the boxes, the 12 and 24 packs. It was great. And since then, I've just chased it all over the world. Like, it's just been my passion.
Really? Okay, so when you say that you've chased it all around the world, what do you mean by that?
I've probably visited, even before I opened this place, 100, 120 breweries. I travel to different countries, different regions of our country. Everywhere I go, and even to this day, when I go somewhere, I go to all the breweries that I can get my hands on when I'm in that city or that country or wherever I happen to be.
Dave, can you tell me a little bit about the startup here?
It was a passion project for me. I started putting it together, went out to the community to try and generate some support. We took this was an abandoned call center. It was mothballed, shuttered, so a 100-seat call center here, and it was pretty dilapidated, and a couple of years to turn that around and turn it into what it is today. And then we launched this brewery 4 years ago, and we paired it with culinary, so it's a place you can come to eat, drink.
I have to say, I am shocked to hear that you've only been open for 4 years. How many beer on tap? Like 22?
So we keep 22 beer on tap all the time. Now and then we'll drag out another few taps for something special. But we typically have about 30 products available here every day. We make everything in-house. And then we've got 2 restaurants. So there's a barbecue restaurant, there's a pizza restaurant, and we're just getting set to launch a seafood restaurant. So that's our next concept.
Dave, did you ever anticipate that you would grow this much so fast?
Yeah, actually, we kind of planned for kind of what it was, and we were able to hit the milestones we wanted. But it wasn't the way that we anticipated. So a lot of things happened. COVID hit. We changed our business model. We were just able to adapt and tweak what we wanted to do. And now we've acquired a property next door. So we're looking at expansion plans and just all the neat things that we can do. So we'll be launching an outdoor space for the summer. And we do about 150 live acts here a year, music-wise. So we'll try and grow that a little bit. So it's just it's a spot where people just come here.
What does it feel like to have created this community hub, but in the town that you grew up in?
It's pretty satisfying. It's nice. I get to have those moments where you meet somebody and they go, "That's my favorite spot," and that makes your day, right? So that's pretty cool. And to just have people reach out and say, "Hey, we want to bring a group, or we're having a reunion, or it's a family thing, and we want to come here." So that every day you get kind of rewarded. It's a little bit at a time, but it really adds up.
Sounded like Bogside was a staple in their community. To discover what first drew her to the area, I met with the events manager, Megan.
I've never worked in a brewery. I've definitely worked in restaurants for my whole career. I've started as a server and just kind of fell in love with the hospitality industry. But Bogside was my first brewery ever. And I started here 10 days after getting to the island. I just applied and loved it. And the team here is so great and the product is really great. So I just fell in love, yeah.
And were you a beer drinker before coming here?
I liked beer, but I didn't know a lot about beer. So that's definitely been a learning curve since starting at Bogside. I've learned so much, which I think is really interesting. And yeah, so it's been a great learning experience. And I do enjoy beer, which helps when you're working in a brewery. Yeah.
And Megan, what is your role here? What's your title?
I'm the events manager and also one of the bartenders here at Bogside.
Events manager. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, so we're actually just, when I applied here, it was almost perfect timing because they were just looking to start getting into events, and that's where my background is. So we're not doing a ton of events necessarily yet, but we're really looking to expand into being like one of the premier destinations, at least for Eastern PEI, for events. So we've got some weddings booked, and we do a lot of smaller scale, like charity events and stuff in the tap room, but eventually we've got a pretty big expansion planned, and we want to really do events, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the menu here? I understand you have like a few restaurants going at the same time.
We do. So there are 2 restaurants currently operating. We've got Crafters Barbecue and Smokehouse, and then we've also got Famous Peppers Pizza. And we are going to be opening a new seafood restaurant for this summer season as well, and an ice cream shack, I think, too. So lots going on, but right now we do have 2 restaurants operating with, yeah, I guess a 3rd and 4th coming pretty soon.
That is so exciting. And I love too that you have such a variety of food. Like it's really something for everyone here.
Yeah, we like that people can kind of come and there's something for everyone. Like you said, everyone can get something alike. There's lots of different things, so people can come here multiple nights in a row and never have the same thing. So that's kind of what we're going for.
What I love about the tap room too is this like rustic kind of industrial look to it. Do you know like where does this wood come from or anything like that?
I don't know exactly where Dave got the wood from, but he definitely wanted to make it the feel like everyone can come here, everyone can feel comfortable here. It's really a space for everyone. Anyone can come and gather. And he did want to go with this industrial kind of feel to it because this is the part of Montague that was previously known as like Bogside. It was more the industrial part of town. So he really wanted to make it kind of in keeping with that theme and make it a place that everyone can feel comfortable to come.
Next up on Slainte, we sit down with the production manager to find out what first drew him to the craft beer scene. And I get to try a fresh batch of beer right off the tank.
Bogside is an establishment that popped up a couple of years ago, and it's great. It's local beers and local foods. It's just a great place to be.
It seems cozy. It's got cold beer and pizza, so it sounds good to me.
I have actually a kegerator in my house and pipes to my kitchen, and Bogside delivered to my door because I'm not close by. I'm like an hour and a half away. And so I have painted black in the kegerator, so I usually order something different when I'm here, but I decided to have a painted black while I was here.
Located in the picturesque town of Montague, Prince Edward Island, you'll find the community hub of Bogside Brewing. To discover what first inspired him to move to the area and get involved in brewing, I spoke with the brewery's production manager, Mark.
Bogside brought me here. So I was living in British Columbia at the time. And was looking for a reason to move back east, and a couple of my friends sent me this job ad, and I was lucky enough to get it.
Where did your adventure in beer start?
My adventure started in Tatamagouche, in my hometown. A brewery opened there in 2017, I believe. I went to brewing school shortly after, in Germany for 6 months, came back, and then moved out west for 2 years, and then came to PEI.
That's so cool. So you actually worked at a brewery before you even went to brewing school?
Yes, so the brewing school that I went to required a certain amount of work experience to enroll.
And so before you worked at that brewery, like, did you have any interest in working in beer?
Yeah, so I was midway through a biology degree, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with it. So when I heard a brewery was opening in my hometown, that kind of sparked my interest. Started homebrewing in my dorm room, and yeah, I got a job right out of college.
And Mark, how did it compare brewing at home versus brewing on the large scale?
Completely different. What I buy as a home brewer was basically pre-brewed. So when you move into the commercial scale, you start from grain, and you have to do the mashing process and the boiling process and adding hops. All of that had been done previously for me, so it was a lot more in-depth on the commercial scale, for sure.
Oh my gosh. And what was that process like the very first time that you did it?
It was a little bit overwhelming. I'd only ever read about that before. I'd never actually done it, so seeing it for the first time was a great experience.
What's been your favorite thing about being a brewer at Bogside?
The creativity. So we have 22 taps, and they're all full. So we've been given pretty full reign over what we can make and the different styles and the different flavors and aromas that we can put into them. So Dave's really generous on just letting us go wild with our creativity and seeing where it lands.
How wild are we talking here?
We did a cask once that was a mango curry IPA, and it turned out really well, but it was 10 liters only.
Mark, where you are like the brewer of Bogside, if someone was gonna try one beer from the brewery, what would you recommend?
I think it depends on what that person normally drinks. If they're normally a light beer drinker, I think they need to try the Light Horse Lagerdale. It's a German-style Kolsch, super light, easy drinking, crisp, and also I think it's 50 cents from every draft pint goes to the Last Post Fund, which helps deceased veterans with their burial and their funeral services.
Wow.
But if you're a hoppy beer drinker, you definitely need to try the Shuckers Select, which is a classic West Coast style IPA, super classic, citrus pine aromas, snappy bitterness, good body to it, great beer.
Mark, where do you see the future of the brewery or yourself as the brewer?
Well, here at Bogside, we're currently in an expansion. We recently purchased a lot next door, and we've got some big plans for that. So hopefully we have a lot more production coming up. And even this year alone, like I think we're 10 to 15% higher than we were this time last year.
What an exciting time for this community brew house. Mark then offered to tell me about their facility and show me his latest batch of beer.
So we have 7, 9, 10 tanks in total. 7 of them are 20 barrels, so they're double batch tanks. 2 of them are 30 barrels, so triple batch tanks. And this tank right here is our bright tank. So this is the tank where the finished beer goes to be carbonated, and then it gets packaged from here.
Okay, so what beer is in this bright tank?
This is our Tailgate APA. Again, classic West Coast style, 5.7%, pretty hoppy, fairly bitter, but extremely balanced.
And is this a recipe that you created or?
It is, yes. I actually wrote the recipe for this at the Hop Yard Bar on a piece of receipt paper.
Are you serious? Can you tell me that story?
Yeah, so we had talked about making this beer, and I kind of procrastinated writing the recipe for it. And then I was out at the bar, and I was like, oh no, I forgot to write this recipe. So I got a piece of receipt paper, and I figured it out at the bar, drinking an APA from another brewery.
so you could compare,
Exactly,
being like,
yes.
This is what I want, this is what I don't want.
Exactly.
And were you happy with the recipe?
Yeah, we made a few small tweaks, but where it is now is, I think it's perfect.
And where is this in the process then?
This is going to be packaged today, so we just need to do our preliminary taste checks to make sure it's good to package, and then it'll be in cans.
Is that something I could help you with?
Absolutely.
Amazing.
The more tasters, the better.
This is perfect. And so this is going to be canned today.
Yes.
So this is literally like the freshest this beer could ever be.
Exactly, yeah. As fresh as it gets.
I feel so honored to be able to taste it. And so what do you expect right off the nose?
You're looking for citrus and a little bit of pine.
I got so much citrus.
Yeah.
Lovely. I can't wait to try it. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
I can't believe how like fresh and crisp this beer is. This is a perfect beer. And what I love about it is that there is so much flavor, but it's so drinkable too. Like it's so light. And again, that's why I'm like, I feel like I can just throw it right back.
That is our ethos here at Bogside. So we try to make beers that when our customers try them, they want to have another.
I want to have like 7 more of these. So
You're free to do that as well.
thank you.
Next up on Slainte, it's time for the tasting. I sit down for a guided tour of some of Bogside Brewing's finest offerings in Montague, Prince Edward Island.
Again, it's the people mostly. You know, we got to know the bartenders and know a lot of the people that come here as well. So you usually have a good conversation with somebody while you're here, and a couple of cold drinks and a bite to eat. And
the great atmosphere, the great people. Megan, the bartender, is awesome. Yeah, and the very best.
My fiance was here maybe a year ago or so, and she thought it was awesome atmosphere, great beer, and food was great. So figured we'd come try it out.
How important do you feel this place is for the community?
Oh, it's very important for the community. It's a place everybody gathers and chat, have a drink. They're very good for the community, very into, helping out the community. So it's nice to support something that's also supporting the community.
Pizza's great, beer's even better, and lovely atmosphere.
Beer's cold, beer is great, food is even better.
Bogside Brewing in Prince Edward Island had grown from dream to vibrant community hub in the riverside town of Montague. Having learned about this fabulous local business and meeting the creative team behind the scenes, it was time to sit down and sample a few of their offerings for myself.
I'm going to start out with something that's not even a beer. So we do this fantastic product. It's called Snap. So look for the cute little turtle on the can. And this is an apple vodka soda. And we make it with local apples. It's something we do in-house. And this thing is real delightful. It's got a cult following.
Oh, wow.
Try that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Slainte.
Slainte, you got it. Oh my gosh, I can already smell the apple.
Fresh apples from up the street. There's a farm up the street.
What I really love about this, Dave, is that it doesn't taste like a vodka soda.
Not at all.
Which is very interesting. I know vodka sodas are very like carbonated usually, and this is just like a light, so fresh apple. Like, that's wonderful.
So we get a lot of customers. This is a gluten-free product, so we get customers that want that option, or a lot of customers will just kind of wedge this in between a couple of beer just as a palate cleanser.
And I'm so happy to see that you have a non-alcoholic beer, like that anybody can enjoy. That is just so inclusive.
Cheers.
Cheers again. So flavorful still too, like.
So it's just a proper little beer.
And so how do you take the alcohol out of it?
We have a filtration system. So using nanofiltration, we separate the alcohol from the beer, and we leave in the flavor, and it's kind of what makes it beer. So people really enjoy it. It's like we've been getting really good reviews. People are pumped about it because they feel like they're participating, but without the alcohol side.
What do we have next?
Next is just a nice light, it's called Lunch Pail Lager. So it's a Japanese style rice lager. So this is just an every person beer. So when we get people who come into the tap room, because we get all kinds of folks, someone that says, I'm not a big craft beer person, I normally drink, and they'll name a big beer. We say, well, why don't you try this? And they try it and they go, that's one of the best craft beers I ever had.
No way, so this is kind of like a way to compete with those.
We just tried not to have a big hop profile or too much body, just a nice, light, crisp, delightful beer, hot weather, any time of day. This is for somebody that takes lunch pail to work.
Oh. It is so clear.
It's just clean, it's refreshing, it's there, and then it's gone.
Which then makes you want more of it.
Exactly.
You did that strategically.
We like people to order the second one when they're here.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart business model.
Yeah. I really wanted to highlight the next one, which is a Kolsch style beer. It's called Light Horse.
Okay.
So it's Light Horse Lager Ale. But we have a local Belgian biscuit malt made by a local maltster here in PEI that we use to give this a little backbone. So you taste it and it's just got that nice, just deliciousness.
Oh, I can't wait anymore. I just have to try it. Mmm. Is it that malt that's kind of giving that sweetness?
Yep. Yeah, so there's a little residual sweetness, but not too much.
No.
It's very balanced. Again, clean, crisp.
I am not surprised to hear that. And what is it called?
Light Horse Lager Ale.
Light Horse. Where does that name come from?
Light Horse, it was actually a collaboration we did with some veterans, and they wanted to name this beer for the PEI Regiment. So it's a precursor to the PEI Regiment. This was the light mounted unit that was, served our country.
That is so special.
Yeah, and we give some proceeds when we pull a pint here to the Last Post Fund. So we've got Gone Coastal, which will be our next one. It's kind of a nice tropical IPA, so you get that punchy, tropical fruit notes from the hops. Again, though, it's nice, it's crisp, it's clean. It's not too heavy, so good nose. You know you're gonna get some tropical.
Oh, that just hit me. That is an incredible
Yeah,
IPA.
you get that mango, that pineapple.
And it's like right at the front of my mouth too. It does that little like, which I really like.
That's good.
I think that people who even don't like IPAs could still enjoy this.
Absolutely.
I think. So what is unfortunately, our very last one here?
Our last one is called Shuckers Select. So it's kind of got it's a West Coast IPA. It's just another shade darker. It's got another 0.5% of alcohol, and it's got that classic West Coast, pininess, and it's an IPA, and it's an IPA.
Oh, and it's an IPA. Okay, there we go. Oh wow.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's full flavor. It's a full-bodied beer. It's when people know they want an IPA, they're like, I really want an IPA. We're like, here you go.
This is it.
And they're like, yep, that's for me.
This is the IPA. Yep. And what's different between these IPAs, which I really like, is that this one I found very, very at the front of my mouth. This one is just so it goes all the way back. It's all around. It's taking my whole mouth on this journey of flavors, and it's incredible. I actually can't stop drinking it.
Well, keep up the good work.
It's awesome. I will. Dave, thank you so much for showing me all of these.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Really happy that you were able to try some stuff.
They're all so different, but what's similar about them is that they're all so good.
Thank you.
And I love them so much. Thank you for showing me.
Awesome. Come back again soon.
I will. In the meantime, I'll keep drinking this one.
I love it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Steps from the Montague waterfront, you'll find Bogside Brewing, a one-stop shop with an incredible array of carefully crafted local brews and delicious local eateries. The atmosphere is bright and welcoming, the company is divine, and the beer will keep you coming back again and again. So make sure you check out this fabulous community brewery where the only thing you'll get bogged down with is trying to pick a favorite.